Deion Sanders has put 46 different players in the transfer portal. Good for him. Get rid of them bums. Yeah, but those are kids. I don't care. I don't care. It's about the program. It's not about you. Those aren't my kids. Don't you think you should treat? No. I don't give a shit about them. Okay? If you wanted someone else, go find someone else. The reason you're 1-11 is because of that lame-ass, woke-ass mentality that you think the world is fair. We're trying to win ball games there. That's right, Tone. Dude, what's wrong with you? Crazy. You're 1-11 because you have that soft-ass mentality. Put 46 kids. And then you got coaches around the country going, this guy's the worst thing in the world for college football. Would you be saying that if he was a white coach? Be careful. So Deion, you thought Deion is going to come in. He probably cut the majority of those kids were black. You think skin color had anything to do with this with Deion Sanders? Deion's a winner. He don't accept losing. He don't give a shit what your color is. Deion don't care. It's about winning games. How many black kids do you think he cut in Colorado? Told him, get in the portal. You ain't going to be here. You hear some of those kids what they were doing too? They'd show up to team meeting rooms with boom boxes. Team meetings? Tone's like Colorado's been giving out scholarships like parking passes. Everybody doesn't deserve a jersey. Amen. You're playing music in a team meeting room? You would think it was a scene out of Heartbreak Ridge. I'd pick that boombox up and I would throw that effer right into the wall. What are you, nuts? This is a place of business. We're going to win games. I got to keep my job. You know why? I got 14 first-rounders behind me. But when you're in a comfort zone place like Colorado, like Tone said, you're passing out scholarships like hall passes or parking passes. You're not in any sense of urgency or threat to lose your gig. That's why you suck. Is because, hey, sports is living consistently on the sense of urgency. That's the great champion. See, Joel Embiid doesn't have a sense of urgency. He doesn't have a sense of urgency. Look at what Joker did. Someone told Joker that the parade in Denver is Thursday. You know what he said? Shit, I want to go home. The task is done. Parades? This guy's not about parades. It's not about MVPs. It's about winning. There was a video showing Deion kick a kid out of the weight room for wearing the wrong color socks. He's trying to establish a culture, and if anyone doesn't fall in line, he checks it at the door. It's funny. Isn't that crazy? Deion looked at your socks, and some would say it's petty. I don't know. How about this? John Wooden used the same philosophy 35 years ago, 45 years ago. They started every practice putting on their socks and shoes the same way. Everyone had to put them on the same way, and everyone had to do it the same. It's called creating a culture. We're doing everything, the littlest thing on the planet, like tying your shoes, as a unit. It sounds dumb. But after a while, when you practice the littlest, tiniest things, they build into gigantic wins for you. Years removed, you get it. Why you practice so hard and why you, I don't know why we were that way. Probably had to be Jimmy, the guy behind me there. It had to be. But we were meticulous at everything we did. You know what's funny? I got to the pros and I lost some of it. I forgot that edge like that. Because, man, when we were there, man, God dang it. It was constant on your toes and sense of urgency and winning and no negative bullshit. Everything was winning, man. Everything we did was game tempo, winning, talking to us, practicing our asses off, working. And then guess what? After a while, we found ourselves helping the younger guys after practice and doing extra. I don't know how that worked into me, but they worked that into us, I think. Maybe it was already there. He did that same shit in Dallas. You know why Jimmy Johnson didn't last 10 years in the NFL? He couldn't. You know why Jimmy never lasted more than 5 years at any place? He couldn't. He was on a timeline and he was going to burn himself out because you know why? When you run 100 meters and you're running a marathon and you're running 100-meter speed, you're going to eventually run out of gas. Barbara, there's a highlight reel of my highlights from the University of Miami. I'll tell you what, Barbara. Tell me what you think when you see the highlight reel. Right now, and so you know, Barbara, I can't jump over a stack of quarters right now, okay? Big Sills ain't that. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what's happened. I'm just going to hook you up as you get older. Tone, I'm going to hook you up. I've lost every single bit of my athleticism. I don't know where it went. I am no longer an athlete. I have fallen down a few times. I have no idea, okay? I have no idea, okay? But I don't know, but all my athleticism has left me. Okay? Still is murking people in that title game. Need to swim, Dan. Hey, Forte, probably so, man. Okay, probably so. Fly goes like this. I seen it, Sills, was good. Hey, and by the way, so you know, Fly, Jerome was next to me. You should see his highlight reel. Hey, Fly, you think my highlight reel was good? You should have seen Jerome's highlight reel. How you doing? So can you imagine you had both those guys with those kind of highlights playing at one time? Not many people beat us, dude. it wasn't very easy to play like that. By the way, real quick before I get into, we're going to look at all the divisions. You hear what Baltimore's doing now. The Baltimore Ravens are copying the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They're copying the offense. And they're trying to implement the RPO offense in Baltimore. Good. I want Lamar to be good. Okay? I want him to be good. That's a smart thing. They should be doing that in Chicago. You see Eagles getting away. Because I would go like this. Watch this. Hey, man. Did what they're doing. Look at what they did with Jalen Hurts with that RPO. They took all the progression reading out and they just let your guy make decisions. Actually, I think it's almost harder what Jalen's doing than being a progression reader. I think there's difficulty in that system as much as they're in the system that Joe Burrow runs. Okay. I think there's just as much, but you have to be I think you actually have to be a quicker thinker in Jalen's offense than you do in Joe Burrow's or Patrick Mahomes' offense. I think you've got to be a better decision maker. How crazy is that? I'm coming around to it. Okay. I'm coming around to it. All right. I want to go down to the divisions here as we're a month out from the start of training camp. And I'm going to start this thing in the AFC. And I've circled my teams that are going to be playoff, wild card, division winners. I do not subscribe to what the people at CBS subscribe to. So this is big sales here. Let's start East. Boy, a lot of noise coming out of Buffalo. Could the Jets take that division? There's noise there too, but there's different noise in New York. There's actually an ego with the Jets. Telling you, man. I think the Jets are going to threaten the Bills. I think they're going to win some games. I could see the Jets beating the Bills this year. And I could see that Buffalo right now, in my opinion, I think Buffalo is a little bit kind of in that doorway where you're either going to have a great year or you're going to have a declining year. You see, there's shit talking going on in New York with the Jets. That's not bad. When's the last time the Jets? People are going Super Bowl. Okay, hey, that's great. That's the kind of talk that's going. You know what's going on in Buffalo? I hate the play calling. I hate we don't have a very good run game. We're not going to be in the elite conversation. Is Josh Allen regressing? I got the Jets winning this division. The Jets. Jody's probably going to go crazy. I think the Jets win this division. I think they upset the Bills and win the division. I think they're talented everywhere. I think they got the best. How about this? They got the best corner and cornerback in the division. What about Josh Allen? Well, I don't know. If I had to take both quarterbacks who have not been superstars in the postseason, Rodgers at least won a Super Bowl. I'm taking the Jets to win the division. Got the Bills making the playoffs, coming in second. I got the Patriots third, and I got the Dolphins fourth. That's not bad in this division. The Dolphins could be 9-8. I got a feeling this is going to be a very, very, very tight division. Again, you could have every team in that division over 500 this year. Dude, I'm with you, Yale. I think it's a bad sign that you got your star receiver at a mandatory minicamp talking shit to your coaches, and he makes $24 million a year. I don't get it. Communication issues? What the hell does that mean? I thought they resolved those things 3 years ago. Doesn't seem it. And now you got the guy pulling the same shit he did when he was in Minnesota. That's noise you don't want. The Jets have euphoric. There's optimism. They're talking like Super Bowl. Man, if they kick the tires and get Dalvin Cook back there too, so Aaron Rodgers would have Dalvin Cook, that receiving core, and Sauce on the other side, a good-looking defensive front, Jets would be formidable. They'd be formidable, dude. AFC North. So again, Jets and Bills, and the Jets winning the division. I got an upset there. AFC North. I got the Bengals winning it. I got the Ravens making the playoffs. I think they're going to have a bounce back year, and I think Lamar's going to have a great year. I got the Steelers third, and there is going to be enormous heat in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson and that contract, because I think they're going to finish fourth in a very good division. That is, hey, if you're not winning the division with a $230 million guaranteed deal, anything short of a division title is a massive failure. They got to figure it out. Hey, do I think the Browns could win this division? I want to see him bounce back. He could. He could look like Houston Deshaun again. And that would be scary and great for the division and great, again, it'd be incredible for the conference. Deshaun Watson looked like he did 4 years ago in Houston. You'd have another guy in the AFC to worry about. Man, that's get this. We're talking shit on Deshaun Watson, and he's one of the better guys in the league. That's a scary conference. AFC South, the Jags. Plus, they get Ridley now. They win that division. I think the Texans. I think they move ahead of the Titans. Now, that is all pre-DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know what D-Hop would bring to that offense. But I got the Texans. I think they made some really good moves this draft. I think they got benchmark guys potentially at the quarterback. I think the D guy is going to be great, Will Anderson. But I think the Texans and Nick Caserio did a nice job. I got the Colts in last place. Not a very good start for Shane Steichen, one of the great play callers. Had to give one to John there. See me sneak that in too. Sound like a shock jock? I saw some of you guys saying some shit. AFC West. I got the Chiefs and the Broncos making the playoffs, and I got the Chiefs winning the division. I think Sean Payton rights the ship in Denver. I got the Chargers missing the playoffs. So are you going to cut that contract with Justin Herbert again, and he misses the contract? Boy, if I'm Justin Herbert, don't you do this. Man, you really think I'm not going to go down the way of Phillip Rivers playing for the Spanoses? You wasted Phillip Rivers' career. You messed up on Drew Brees' career. Even if you go back to the previous owner with Dan Fouts, you wasted his career. Who'd they get to the Super Bowl with? What was that guy's name? What was that guy's name? They got there with some dude when the 49ers beat the piss out of him. What was that quarterback's name? Sam? Is it Sam? What was the quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl in the 49ers? Stan Humphries, baby. So you had Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees. Now you got Justin Herbert and you had Dan Fouts, and you got to the Super Bowl with Stan Humphries. Stan Humphries. Okay. Oh, man. I got the Raiders in last as usual. If I'm the NFL, man, how long is it before you start to do something to try to force Mark Davis to make the sell of the team and get him out of there? The Raiders are going no place. It's terribly run. They got a lot of money now. Mark Davis doesn't know what he's doing. What are you doing with the Raiders? What a lost franchise. Man, I get that the Steinbrenners were not their dad, or that Jeannie Buss is not Dr. Buss, but shit, at least they won titles. Right? I mean, the apple was so far thrown from the tree here. Hey, I just don't see it, man. Uncle Fester, man, Uncle Fester's not doing it for me with the Raiders. Hockey team now just wins the Stanley Cup. You got a baseball team. Hey, you got to love what the A's are doing. How about the A's situation, too? Real quick before I move on here to the NFC. How about the A's? So the A's were the tenant in the building at the Oakland Coliseum, right? And they talked all this trash on the Raiders. Oh, man, we're Oakland's team. We're this and that. Okay? Right. Hey, the Raiders suck. They're no good. Yesterday, they got approved for their move to Las Vegas. They'll probably play somewhere near UNLV. They're moving to Vegas. Now you're going to take the entire sporting community away because the Golden State Warriors, that's on city officials too, by the way. The Golden State Warriors said, I'm out of here. Not staying in Oakland. Oakland city officials. You want to blame the A's and you want to blame the Raiders. Sure, okay. Guys lied. They sure did. Since when don't team owners lie? But the city officials, just think about it for a second here in California. They lost the Chargers in San Diego. Stan Kroenke had to build his own building to move the Rams from St. Louis. They didn't help with bonds or nothing. Stan wrote Walmart money. He completely 100% financed that with the NFL's help. Los Angeles didn't help him. He funded that. The 49ers, right, Niner? The 49ers got kicked out of San Francisco. As cold as that place was, Candlestick Point, it's still one of the greatest. Let me tell you something. When you come off SFO and you go by Candlestick Park back in the day, it was pretty cool. Even though it was a rundown building. That was a really cool spot to have a football game, was Candlestick Point. Okay? Shit, man. They should have did something with Kezar Stadium to keep the team in town. Now, get this. They're like 1,000 miles in Santa Clara out of the city limits. They're not really San Francisco's team. They're south of Oakland. They're like in Oakland Raider country. I mean, they're not San Francisco's team anymore. You lost that in complete vibe. So my point is, California keeping sports teams never happened. Highest taxes in the country. City officials suck everywhere up and down the state. Homeless is through the roof. You're going to build stadiums for baseball and football teams? Not likely. Not with Gavin Newsom as your governor. You think they give a shit about sports teams in California? They barely care about the citizens that make the state great. Power constantly is going on and off. You're going to worry about a ball team like the A's. We're state in the union for sports. We're state. And states like Arizona and Nevada are benefiting. Keep the A's. You really think California was going to do anything to keep the A's? The Raiders had to leave. And we're going to stay in that city. They were never going to build them anything. They were subleasing from the A's. Come on, man. California. Yeah, hey, you got retrofitting on like earthquake bridges, but let me build a stadium. That's Charger fans. Charger fans put 67, 69,000 fans in the building at Qualcomm every weekend. They still move the team. California. Okay. NFC now. Let's take a look at this. So just to wrap up the AFC, I got Bills, Bengals, Jags, Chiefs winning their divisions. And the wild card teams are Jets, Ravens, Broncos. Here's the NFC. Completely different than what a lot of prognosticators are saying about the Eagles this year. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't think you can do it again. I think there's some people out there that actually have a little bit of my mentality when it comes to Hurts. You think he can do it again? You think he can do it again? I'm hoping he just plays the way he did a year ago. Do you think he can do it again? I think that's what they're thinking. A lot of people I've looked at have the Cowboys winning the East. I'm like, really? Okay. Here's how I look at it. NFC East. I got the Eagles winning the division. I got the Cowboys as a wild card. I got the Giants third. I got the Commanders fourth. Ray says, why not? I don't know, Ray. Because I haven't seen him do it in consecutive years. Is that fair? Or accurate? He wasn't very good his first year starting. I thought he was okay. I thought he was carried to the playoffs. This last year, he was the engine. There was a difference. There was a complete difference. Lesser schedule, too. Like Vermeil said today on WIP, there's going to be no, like, I said this the other day, and you guys probably thought I was just trying to create some shit, but hey, Tone, everyone thinks that I just come on here just to create some shit. Well, Dick Vermeil went on the air this morning, and said that the number one thing that's going to be an issue for the Eagles this year is who they play. So he echoed what I said, which means this: there's going to be no getting around who Jalen Hurts is after this year. Tone says he's marked to tape. Well, if he gets through this schedule, like Vermeil said today, not just me, he gets through this schedule, winning 12 games, the East for a third straight year. For a second straight year, playoffs 3 straight years, and they get home field, there's going to be very little to debate any longer on where his place is and how you look at him. And all those things that happened to him at Alabama and his draft and all this other stuff is erased, like Brady's was erased. You understand that even when Brady won his first Super Bowl, there was still that 6th round stigma on that out there on him. Can he do it again? All that went away after he won the Super Bowl and then started playing the way no one even brings up the point any longer that Brady was a 6th rounder, because it's irrelevant. Jalen Hurts this year can make that irrelevant now. His college career, in a way. His journey's a movie, but he can make what happened to him at Alabama go away, because then it'll go just like Hassan Reddick. Well, Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers couldn't figure it out. I was always this player. He's right. He's right. 3 teams, 3 years. What happened? We're always first to say it's the player. I said it too. Wasn't the player. It was how the player's being used. Hassan Reddick finally fit into a place that he fit into. Doesn't it show you how certain places, no matter how talented you are, you could go to a place and it just doesn't work? I mean, it just doesn't work. Look at Kevin Durant. How could a guy that talented like Kevin Durant go to places and it just not work? How's that possible? I mean, he's one of the greatest shooting people of all time. He's a better Kevin McHale. How is it possible he's not winning championships in multiple places like LeBron? I don't know. I can't get that. It doesn't make sense. So I got in the East. Once again, Eagles win the division, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. In the NFC North, I got the Lions winning the division. I think this is going to be a pretty good battle back and forth between the Vikings and the Lions. By the way, one more thing on Stephon Diggs. We kind of broached this a little bit in the first hour. I have never at any time in the years that Justin Jefferson has been in Minnesota heard Justin Jefferson say one thing negative about the offense, even when he had Mike Zimmer or Kirk Cousins. I have heard Stephon Diggs bitch about his quarterback in both places and the offensive approach in both places. And Justin Jefferson is on a historic roll with Kirk Cousins. Are there better quarterbacks in the NFL than Kirk Cousins? Obviously. But you got a guy catching footballs and putting yards up, no matter who the guy is. That is the guy you want in your building. That is an absolute professional. I love the fact Jefferson makes Diggs look stupid. It makes him look stupid. I don't know about you, but if I'm Justin Jefferson and my quarterback's Kirk Cousins and we shit the bed in major games and in big games, I'm stunned he hasn't said anything. I'm stunned he hasn't gone more overboard, but he hasn't. And this is an LSU guy. They're known for being big mouths. No way, man. He's doing his job. He's going to make $30 million. Get this. He showed up to training camp or mini camp today. He showed up to mandatory mini camp, Justin Jefferson, without a contract. He's coming into his final deal, and the Vikings are working on a deal. He's going to get $30 million. That's how you get $30 million. You show up to OTAs. Why wouldn't you? When you want that kind of money, why would you hold out? Look, if you're sitting around and it's $1 million, $1.5 million, I guess so. But you're talking about $30 million deal with guarantees, and this is going to make you the highest paid position player in the league. Why would you not want to show the organization that you're all in with them, that you'll do whatever it takes? Get an insurance policy. Who gives a shit? And go into OTAs showing that you're the guy. I would want to show management. For me, showing up to work every day, the reason you're going to pay me more is because I show up every day. I care about what I do, and I care about what we do. I think that's how you get more money. And I think the position players in the NFL have to go over and above that of the quarterbacks. A guy like Kyler Murray can cry. I don't think Justin Jefferson can. Because then I think it gets in an adversarial relationship. Well, you're a receiver. You're not really the quarterback. Yeah, well, nobody, including Jerry Rice, has done what I've done. It's a good point. Shit, man. The way this NFC North looks right now, would it be shocked if Dan Campbell wins the NFL Coach of the Year award? That's my candidate. My candidate in prediction to win the NFL Coach of the Year award is Dan Campbell. For the guy who was the knee eater and the elbow eater and WWE head coach, I'm starting to like this guy. Okay? I'm starting to like this guy. I got the Bears third. I'm rooting for you, Justin. I'm rooting for you. Okay? Yeah, I got Dan Campbell, my candidate. Sirianni's a better coach by miles than Campbell. What's the one thing he brings to the team, Arthur? What is the one impactful thing that Sirianni brings to the team? He's a good guy? He's a team guy? What is it? He's not the play caller. What is he? The best cheerleader? What's he bring to the team? And that's why they've got guardrails for two coaches, like John McMullen said. So Howie decided to hire watchdogs for his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator because Sirianni's such a great coach. Spaghetti. 14 wins? Really? That's on him? I don't believe that's on him at all. He's the most expendable person in that locker room. And the Eagles prove that every, 6 years? They fired a Hall of Fame coach and a Super Bowl coach. Who's Nick Sirianni? I don't have – a lot of you have a mountain of respect for him as an important cog in this thing. I think he's a pawn in this thing. I don't think he's what you think he is. Are you trying to tell me you don't think the Eagles can win without him? Let me ask you this. Who do you think the Eagles can win more without? Jeff Stoutland or Nick Sirianni? Who's a more important coach? If you had to lose one or the other, who would you be willing to lose? I don't care what you say, Arthur. You fired all those coaches. I don't care what you say. He's not better than Doug Peterson. He plays the game better than Doug. And you fired Doug. You fired a better coach. If Doug Peterson's the head coach of the Super Bowl team, you win it. Never thought about that. If Doug Peterson's the head coach of the Super Bowl Eagles, they win it. They win it. Yeah. Why do I say that? Well, he did beat Belichick and Brady. I'm pretty confident that they could beat Mahomes and Andy. Sirianni beat Peterson last year with a reclamation project of the Jags, and he took the Jags to the division title after that nightmare of a year previous. Okay, you're right. Sirianni's better than Doug. That's all you need to know about Arthur. Now you know a little something about Arthur. He thinks Sirianni's a better coach than Doug Peterson. That's all you need to know. The NFC South. This may surprise you. I got the Saints winning this division. I got the Falcons second. I got the Panthers third. I got the Buccaneers 4. I'm starting to get on this Saints bandwagon. I am. And I said this in the first hour. If Alvin Kamara is playing, they win the division. They got the best quarterback in the division. They'll have the best defense in the division. Falcons are coming. The Panthers will see what Bryce Young does. The Bucs are floundering. I would say the Saints could be a very surprise. I know, man. Dennis Allen. I get it. But they're going to win every game in that division. So you're going to have 6 wins right there. I think they're going to skunk the division. I don't think there's going to be a team in it. Maybe the Falcons. Maybe the Falcons. But they're going to own that division. And they don't really have that tough a schedule. The NFC West. I got the 49ers winning the division. I got the Seahawks, the wild card team. I got the Rams with a winning record, not making the playoffs. And the Cards will be the worst. Will the Cards be the worst team in the NFL? Yes. The Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the league, which means they're going to get the first pick in the draft, which means they may indeed end up getting a chance. Would you draft Caleb Williams if you're Arizona next year and move Kyler Murray? Would you? Think about what the Cardinals are going to be in a position to do next year. Or do you trade down to 2 and get Marvin Harrison so you can get Marvin Harrison? And who's going to be the second worst team? The Raiders. Raiders or Commanders or Bucks. And you could see would you trade Kyler Murray to like Tampa? Tennessee? Washington? The Giants, depending on what Daniel Jones does. And you're not going to get a good sense of what he looks like this year, Kyler Murray. You know why? He's not coming back until like week 6. So here's my playoff teams. Eagles win the division. Lions win the North. The Saints win the South. And the Niners win the West, with wild cards being Cowboys, Vikings, and Seahawks. No, you can only get 3. Yeah. Seahawks, Cowboys, Vikings. Those will be the wild card teams. Yeah. 2 teams are going to come out of the North. 2 teams are going to come out of the West. And 2 are going to come out of the East. I tell you what, man. The Saints. Make sure you keep an eye on the Saints, because I think the Saints are going to be big year for Geno. Yeah, we got to find out if he could do it again. Just like your boy Jalen Hurts. Tony says Washington is a clown show, but their potential to have a very dangerous coaching staff. Giants fall to 4, 7-10. Plus the fact they're playing like the same kind of schedule that the Eagles are playing. Absolutely. I'm with you. I think the love affair with Brian Daboll, we're going to find out, because you know why? I think you gambled wrong on Daniel Jones. I think you'll move off that. Well, they can't, because now they put themselves in a position, at least for the next 2 years. Dude, the Giants, I think the Giants made a calculated mistake with Jones. And that's why Barkley's pissed off right now. All right. Hit the timeout or hit the like button.